The United Nations Security Council is convening to vote on a draft resolution calling for the scaling up of humanitarian aid deliveries in the besieged Gaza Strip. The proposal by the United Arab Emirates is also calling for an urgent and sustained end of hostilities to allow safe and unhindered humanitarian access to Gaza. Now, this vote has been delayed multiple times after requests by the United States. The U.S. Deputy Ambassador to the United Nations says that they will only support the draft resolution if specific changes are made.
Morning.
Still working it. Still hoping to get to, to be able to support it.
So
we're not there yet.
Are you looking for changes in the text?
Well, there need to be some things in the text that would make it worthy of our support. Right now, we're still working it. So.
Gabriel Elizondo joins us from the United Nations headquarters. Gabriel, help us wrap our heads around this. Is this primarily a draft resolution about stopping the fighting? Whatever the language might be around that, whether it's a ceasefire, I think it won't be, or pause in fighting, or humanitarian pause. Is it about stopping the fighting, or is it about mostly increasing the level of aid that goes to Gaza?
The second part of that. This is a resolution that was basically supported and drafted by the United Arab Emirates with the support of other member states, but it is a resolution that solely really focuses on humanitarian aid. It's not a political resolution at all. The UAE ambassador has been repeating that over and over and over again, that this is about scaling up aid into Gaza quickly and immediately and distributing it quickly and immediately to those that need it. Now, their whole part about ceasefire, there's no ceasefire in this resolution, but in order to do this, it's got to be safe on the ground there. And that is why they initially called for a cessation of hostilities. The U.S. said, we won't go for that, so they changed it to suspension of hostilities, because you cannot have bombardment and also try to get the massive amounts of aid out. So, but this is about humanitarian efforts, and that's why the U.S., if, it's a big if, of course, vetoes this like they have in two other Security Council resolutions since October 7th, it would look quite bad on the United States, quite frankly. And so, but to specifically answer your question, this is a humanitarian resolution that is being considered.
So what is the U.S. opposed to in the language? If it's all humanitarian and the U.S. has been calling for increasing humanitarian aid, they said, all the way to the top, Joe Biden has said that there needs to be more humanitarian aid going into Gaza. So what could the U.S. be opposed to in this text?
Who is organizing it is a simple answer. Right now, all the aid going in is wholly or mostly controlled by Israel. And so aid organizations have insinuated that Israel could be slowing that aid down, and they're deciding how many trucks get in, how quickly they inspect trucks that get in, what gets in. This resolution says, no more of that. This resolution says, if passed, it would be the United Nations that would be in charge of, or a United Nations appointed body or persons in charge of getting that aid in. And the United Nations would probably do it a lot faster and at a lot bigger capacity than what Israel is doing it. That's what people that support this resolution believe, right? And so that is what Israel is opposed to. They would essentially lose power on how they can slow down or speed up aid into Gaza. It would be up to the United Nations, and that is what Israel, we think, is opposed to, and that is what we think the United States is trying to change the language on how and who specifically monitors the aid coming in and who gets it into the country and decides how much and how quickly it gets into Gaza. That is a simple answer to that question.
Gabriel, just before I let you go, it's 1:22 p.m. where you are. It's 18:22 GMT. Any word on timing, when we might see, if we will see a vote on this today at the UN Security Council?
Well, I can tell you it was supposed to be about 2.5 hours ago. That's what we thought. But it was supposed to be on Wednesday, then it was Tuesday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, now we're at Thursday. Short answer is we don't know. We're hearing that they're going to go back into closed consultations in about an hour and a half from now, perhaps talking about Gaza. Will they come out of those negotiations with a deal that they can vote on? Will they have a new draft resolution? Simple answer is we don't know. We're standing by, but things are changing literally by the minute.
All right, thanks for that. It was a little hard to follow, but we get it now. Thank you very much. Gabriel Elizondo reporting from the UN headquarters in New York. Big question mark there about whether or not we'll see a vote today at the UN Security Council on this draft resolution. Thank you, Gabe.